Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. It's Rob here in front of the Great Wall of Comics. Today, let's talk about that necessary evil of comics, bags and boards. All right, so if you've been collecting comics at least since the 80s, bags and boards are like everything. You go to the comic book store, hey, do you want bags and boards with your books? Maybe your LCS already puts every comic in a bag and a board. But basically, sometime in the 80s, somebody sold a Superman book for a lot of money. And after that, everybody thought comic books now are valuable collectibles, and everything was getting bagged and boarded. Because before that, bags there were bags out there, and there were maybe some boards, or maybe people were cutting on boards, but it wasn't a big deal. Comics were viewed, you tossed them, you shared them, whatever else. But anyways, today we bag and we board all these comic books, and I've done some. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty about bags and boards here. I did that in another video. Matter of fact, I'll link that up here where I talked about poly bags, the difference between poly bags and biaxial oriented polypropylene bags and Mylar bags. And since then, I've had a lot of people see some of the pictures I post on Instagram and ask me about the bags I use because they go, wow, those are really, really clear. Phenomenally looking. The books look sharp. And so I'll share with you guys. Essentially, what I've used to use is I used to use whatever I could pick up, whether they were these Ultra Pros or they were some other else like everybody else, these poly bags that you could get at the LCS. And I was never happy with the way they looked. They always looked kind of cloudy. The bags themselves feel flimsy. And so after doing that video I referenced, I had found a place that was doing biaxial oriented polypropylene bags, and I learned about the process and understood that those bags were typically they were much clearer because of the manufacturing process, and they seemed to be highly durable. The problem was is the company that I was buying the books from at that time, or my bags from, wasn't a dedicated comic book bag manufacturer. They made a lot of bags, so finding bags and boards was always of the right fits were always a little bit odd, and their bags were only 0.6 mil, so they were rather thin. And even though they were durable because they were BOP bags or OPP, depending upon the manufacturer, those bags were more durable than a poly bag by itself. They were still thin and a little bit annoying. Then I found another manufacturer who makes the OPP or BOP bags, and I decided to try them out. They're out of Canada, called Comic Proline. Now, these are actually Mylar, because that's actually something else. Here's the BOP bags. Resealable bags is what I use in the Silver Age size. These are super clear. And that's what gives you this beautiful look when I'm taking pictures of these. Matter of fact, these are I use a variety of different bags from them, but like for example, for transparency, this is the clear. This is the regular brand bags, like the well, it doesn't really matter. This is a regular poly bag. This is for a slab, but I mean, this is what it looks like. Versus this is what the Comic Pro line looks like. So looking at me through this bag, you can see the difference in the cloudiness that this other bag has versus this bag from a transparency standpoint. And this is that Comic Pro line, this BOP bag, super clear. And what I do like is even with like this, the slabs and stuff too, because I use their slab bags, I get a nice clear look to that still. I don't have to take it out of the bag to show off this book necessarily. But I also have, I'll also use some of their Mylar bags for some of the stuff. Because they have Mylar as well as the regular OPP bags. Now the Mylar bag is very similar to any other Mylar bag. Super clean and clear. But the thing that I really dug about these OPP bags of theirs was that not only are they super clear, but they're 2 mil thick, which is the same thickness as the lesser expensive Mylars. Mylars come in 2 mil and 4 mil. So you're getting the same 2 mil thick, and it is a really durable. I mean, I can't share you, but you feel it, and it has that durability to it. You just know that that's kind of really helping to protect the book. And that's one of the reasons I'll use the Silver Age bags and Silver Age boards is not only do I have a fair amount of Silver Age books, but when I put a modern or current bag in there, I like having the extra border space around the book to help protect it and preserve it. The other thing that I like is that these guys have multiple different point boards. So they have a 24-point board, which is a standard board. They have a 28-point board, which is a little bit thicker and only slightly more expensive. And then they have like a 56-point board if you want, like, instead of having to get double boards, you can have the thicker boards. And they have clear backing boards too, actually, which I haven't tried out yet, but I am interested to do. And of course, then they have the top loaders. So this is, this is a book inside of a top loader inside of the bop bag. You can just look how clear that is. So that's what I love, guys. So this is what I'm using to answer those questions for those people who are asking. I'm using the Comic Pro line of bags and boards. I like, the clarity combined with the durability, the 2 mil on the OPP. I'm a big believer in the OPP. I'm surprised that more manufacturers have not gone to an OPP versus a blown poly bag. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please take a moment to go back and watch that other video on bags that kind of talk about the different production techniques that are used. But essentially, OPP is a superior bag. It costs a little bit more potentially, I think, for most manufacturers, but that's the thing. The price point here on Comic Pro has been really affordable, especially when they're running different promotions and whatnot, especially if you buy in bulk, because they're based out of Canada. And that's the only knock I would say for those of us here in the States. If you just want to pick up one set of bags and boards, it's probably not going to be the most cost effective, because if you're looking strictly from a cost effective standpoint, simply because of the shipping costs then. However, if you go over a certain dollar amount, they include free shipping. So usually I'll buy 4 sets of bags and boards at a time. That then gets me over the threshold for free shipping. Then I get the bags and boards. You can't beat them, in my opinion. But as always, guys, I mean, ultimately today you should use what you want to use. Don't listen to me. I was fat man, fat stack of comics, a fat opinion. Thanks for watching.